Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are previewing Week 8 in the NFL, and Joe Duffy, as always, is taking a bunch of games that I asked him to take. Last week, we did the same thing, and he went 5-1 against the spread in the 6 games he took with us last week. Now, he doesn't have that good of a week every week, of course, but overall, big sample size. He does hit over 55% in these kinds of games, which is extremely impressive. Joe Duffy, thanks for being back with us.
Well, thank you, Peter.
All right, last year, 57% in our videos, and this year you're right about 56% again. So great job, Joe Duffy, and tell everyone how you're doing at your site with your 4 pay picks that are your top plays each week.
Yeah, no, been doing this for 27 years, going back to the Score Phone days, been doing this full time, having another solid year going back to the preseason off of a 3-1 week with Wise Guy plays in the NFL. Our performance gap analysis is screaming at us again this weekend. We already have 2 NFL Wise Guy plays plus a major play, and we're working on a lot more, looking at some totals, etc. Big weekend at offshoreinsiders.com. Joe Duffy's picks.
All right, sounds awesome, Joe. Well, you're going to take a handful of NFL games with us this week. Always extremely sound advice and valuable leans here. First one, Houston, Tennessee, right? Tennessee is a 2 or 2.5 point home underdog. The total is 42 or 42.5, and Tennessee did manage to get a cover last game, but in general, they're a pretty lethargic team, right? They're 2-4-1 against the spread overall, and Houston has 2 straight up losses and ATS losses as well. But both those games were games they quote unquote gave away. They kind of had some sloppy play that hopefully they can correct it. Although they have done it twice in a row, so maybe they're this kind of team that that always seems to be doing that game in and game out, and that they will give the game away as part of their internal makeup. So maybe you want to stay away from them. But assuming that they can fix those problems, you got to figure that they're going to get a little bit better, both straight up and against the spread. And this might be the perfect spot for that on the road, -2 against Tennessee. What do you think, Joe?
No, not necessarily. Earlier this year when we were talking about Houston and they were looking pretty impressive early, I said, no, in the NFL, you got to have a good quarterback. There's no question they have a tremendous defense, nice offensive line, a heck of a running back, arguably the best wide receiver in football, but they really don't have a quarterback to get the ball out. And in the NFL, it is so important. This game is somewhat demonstrative of one of our golden rules where we always say that the most overrated statistic when it comes to handicapping is straight up record. And Tennessee, they have a little bit of a deceptive record. Basically, the metrics say that Houston's record is about accurate, but the Titans, they're getting 5.8 yards per play to teams that are normally allowing 5.8. Again, that's perfectly average. And they're holding teams to a 0.1 yards below their normal average. So that suggests they're closer to being a 500 team. When you do the yards per rush, yards per play against what their teams normally allow on both sides of the ball, Houston also looks like they're about a 500 team, but that's what the record is, 3-4 straight up. So Tennessee's a little bit better than the record. Houston, short week, totally disheartening loss. Look, these are 2 bad teams. I understand why none of the other handicappers wanted to touch it. It's probably not going to be a premium play, but I do think one of my golden rules apply here, where Tennessee is a little bit better than their straight-up record suggests, and they should probably be about a 2.5 point favorite. So I do like Tennessee here.
All right, well, if you think they should be 2.5 point favorite, that's a pretty significant edge then on Tennessee. Currently plus 2.5 is the widely available number.
Yeah, no, it is. But like I said, there are plenty of arguments that can be made against them. But I do think that because the metrics, the key metrics indicate they're roughly about even, maybe Houston with a slight edge, and of course home field advantage is worth about 3 points. So yeah, I would say about 2.5, because Tennessee doesn't necessarily, the teams that give fans reasons to cheer are going to have the bigger home field advantages. So I would say, yeah, about 2.5. So yeah, that's a pretty good scalp there.
Joe Duffy, you're liking Tennessee plus 2.5 currently over Houston. Thanks, Joe.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.